Hi everybody, it's Tatiana. Today I am coming to do another book review, and I am reviewing Locked In by John Scalzi. This is one of the nominations for Best Adult Novel for the BookTube SFF Awards, and the read-along for this is actually next month, September, but two of the books that were read-alongs for August, which were The Martian and Station 11, were not available at the library, but this was. So I went ahead and picked this up and read this, and I just have to read them whenever I get the opportunity to, because I'm like fourth in place for both of those books on the whole list. So, a brief synopsis. The novel picks up about a quarter of a century after a disease that has been called Hayden's disease, which gives symptoms that are pretty much similar to the flu and meningitis, has run rampant across the world, and about 1% of the population is affected by this disease. Of that 1%, a small percentage experience what they call lock-in, which is where you are fully aware of your surroundings, you are awake and alert, but you do not have the ability to respond to any stimulus. So if they prick you, touch you, move you, you have no way of responding because your body is immobile. When the story begins, we're meeting rookie FBI agent Chris Shane and his new partner, Leslie Vann, as they are put on, it's his first day at work, and the first assignment that they have is a murder that's involving what's called an integrator. And an integrator is a person who can allow those who are locked in to use their bodies to be able to perform tasks and experience the outside world. And there's a lot that goes into that's explained in the book, and it's explained really, really well. But as they are investigating this murder, the problem is the person who committed the murder the actual person who the body belongs to, or was the murder committed while they were integrated with someone who was locked in, and if so, who was that person that was locked in, and all this, that, and the other. And it can seem really confusing when going through the synopsis, but it's not as you read the book. So that is the first pro. This is one of the few. I don't read a lot of science fiction. The real extent of my true science fiction would really be Octavia Butler. I'm looking to expand that beyond, but this is real deal science fiction, and it's not confusing, it's not difficult to read or understand. So that is the first pro, because there are a lot of things that go on in this story that deal with Chris Shane, the rookie FBI agent, and his partner, and their experiences, as well as the experiences of the people that they meet. And this is a disease that has had an effect on so many people in the world. When you think about 1% of the population is about 500 million. So, and this is 1% of the world population. So 500 million have been affected by this disease, and have either been affected to the point where they are locked in and are unable to use their bodies, or to the point where they can be an integrator and allow people who are locked in to use their bodies to experience the world. So it's really, really interesting and intriguing how Scalzi brought this world to be. And as different as some things seem, it seemed kind of plausible. And I don't know if that's because the majority of the story takes place between D.C. and Loudoun County, which are very close to me in Virginia. So I don't know if it had to do with that, or just with the fact that it's described and done in a way that, even though this is not something that we have ever experienced, and the circumstances are not things that we have ever experienced, you're put into this world, and it doesn't seem like it's that different of a world. I don't know if that made sense at all, but that's the best way that I can describe it. You're put into this world that's in the not so distant future, and it doesn't seem like it's a world that's different from what you're experiencing, even with the technology that has developed from point A to point B in the time frame that takes place before this novel. If you are not sure whether or not science fiction is a genre for you, but you enjoy mysteries, this would be a good book to read. If you are not sure if you like science fiction, but you like futuristic novels, and this is in the it's a novel of the near future is what the tagline is on the bottom. So it's not, 100 or so years from now. It's something that's supposed to be very close to the time that we're in now. But the technology and things that are available seem a little far-fetched from where we really are. Like, remember back in the 80s, they were saying that in 2010 we would have flying cars, and it's 2015 and we got like one that's been tested as a prototype, that kind of thing. So that, that portion of it, the technology is a little far-fetched. But if you're just curious about science fiction, I would really suggest reading this novel. The breadth of my science fiction really is Octavia Butler. 90% of what would be considered SFF, which is science fiction and fantasy books that I read, are fantasy. I don't read a lot of strictly science fiction novels, and this was not hard to read. It was not hard to follow, even when it gets into the explicit detail of the science that is behind some of the technology. It's not hard to follow. It's not difficult to understand, and it's actually really intriguing when you think about the implications of what they are discovering based on what they're dealing with the case that they're investigating and the time period that they're in. So I don't know if this is a really good review or not. I feel like I am plundering my way along a bumbling brook of mistakes, but this is really the best that I could do. I just, outside of saying I really enjoyed it, this I would give 3.5, maybe 4 stars. If you are watching this review and you are pre-reading and reading for the SFF read-along, the live shows, the discussions on Goodreads for the awards that are coming in October, I think, October or November, you're going to read this next month, you've got a good book to look forward to. And that's all that I have for this review for today. I hope it made sense for you, like it kind of makes sense for me. And if you have any comments or questions, put them in the comment section below. And thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a good weekend whenever you see this video. Peace out.